Hey guys, this is this awesome 120 Prado, nice and clean inside and out. Hardly ever, if anything, been off-road, very little, maybe just getting started. It's got the nice ARB bull bar, nice shiny, you know, the grey standard finish. It's got the carbon winch, it's got the safari snorkel. It's been into ARB and he tells me he got the battery tray fitted. The battery, well, he fitted the battery tray over there for him, is my understanding, but they went and put the dual battery into another tray over here now. We like these trays and we don't like them. We like them because at least you don't have weight forward on the guard, you know, because I don't know if you know about that possible guard cracking situation. It happens kind of straight down there because the guard flexes like that. So by putting it there and not having it over there, it may save the guard at that side, but you've still got a battery here anyway. So there's no point saving that side and that crack there if you've got a battery here and it's going to crack there anyway, so whatever. So I actually really prefer, if I set my vehicle up from scratch, I'd have one here and one over there. Over here is then where I put the compressor and all that. In our 120, the battery tray and everything was already there when we purchased the vehicle, so we used that and put the compressor over there, which, you know, it's okay. But the same thing we found on it is what we found on many other vehicles. Now, we talked about the electrical problem and we had a bit of a pick on that, you know, short circuits and whatever, but imagine there was fuel leaking, you know, and it's not unleaded, you know, unleaded one spark and it's up, but diesel still burns, right? You know, it is a fuel, and oil, it burns slowly, you know what I mean? It could really get messy if the fuel started to leak and then the sparks happen afterwards, or vice versa, right? So I'll show you what I'm getting at. By putting this battery tray here, you move the fuel filter that way and those fuel lines end up rubbing on the cover sometimes. Now, I'm told this was installed by ARB Keilor. I don't know, look, you know, this is the problem when you've got a big business. Now, I'm not picking on ARB, the brand. I mean, ARB, Australian company, they make quality products, whatever, right? I'm not saying we like everything, we don't like everything. I'm not saying it's a rip-off, I'm not saying it's cheap. I'm just saying, you know, there's some things there that are good and they're value for money, like this light we use. See this light we got hanging up on the roof here? That's an ARB work light worth about, I don't know, 80 bucks. I like it. That's one of the ones I like. It's very universal, so you can put the plastic hooks there. That time, you know, I'll put it over the paintwork. It's white, it's not going to scratch anything. They've got magnets on the back. Sometimes I hang it on the rubber trims up here, and they throw out a really good light, but we still need the light on the camera when we want to go in and show you these sort of stupidities they've allowed to happen, right? Let's have a look at this. Look at that, right? That's just about rubbed through. I don't know how well you can tell in the camera, but that's just about through, right? So that fuel hose needs to be adjusted. It needs to be replaced now anyway. That's the one that comes from the supply. Let me just have a look what they've done. Yeah, so they just probably needed to shorten that, would have been the go. Usually it's this one here, the one that goes to the, that rubs, and I'll have you know that hose there, they're you know, about 80 or 90 bucks. So you don't, you know, they've got it zip tied to the wiring loom here. The same wiring loom that's got the positive, you know, circuit breaker just here with about a finger to fit it, you know, and it can move like this, you know, it's just, you know, it can move around when that shorts out and when this is leaking at the same time, and the whole under bonnet area, there's black smoke pouring out, it goes up in flames. It's one of those cars on the side of the road that ends up in a tow truck and everyone puts videos on Facebook and says, yeah, I wonder what happened here. Well, this is what happened. Besides the auto-electric catastrophe, this is going to cause a breakdown if it's left, that's for sure, because the fuel supply is going to stop. And when you're on a remote trip and you haven't got fuel, spare fuel hose, and it's not something else to put on your list. What you've got to put on your list is checking these things to make sure there's nothing. Check all your hoses and clamps, nothing are broken, right? And make sure when the diesel engine vibration, the engine vibrates, tiny little vibrations, right? And anything against it, right? That's why there's so many clips and clamps from factory. And look, has that one been? Oh yeah, so that one's technically busted as well, but you know, all part of the job. You know, this all gets sorted out so it's, you know, reliable and whatever. But you can't have things right. That is the big one. We've discussed it before. So let's just have a look around the engine bones. See they're all white. The plastic deteriorates over time, but that's still good. Okay, we talked about that in other videos. What else we got here? Let me have a look. So Bit of black oil on the EGR valve there, coming out. You get that sometimes. It's probably a lot to do with the blow-by situation with the engine. It's got massive blow-by at the moment, so a good clean-up. And the engine needs to be fixed, unfortunately, not just the injectors and the intake on this one. But that's that oil. If you have a look down there, you can see a bit of oil. That's what's going on there. It's coming out. It's blowing out the EGR valve, all right? So, but it looks fairly original, and that's kind of the problem. Those clamps down there, they don't look like they're missing. They don't look like they've ever been removed. Of course, we can't tell till we've got it apart, so we're going to have more videos on this one to do with that engine problem type thing. But right now, I'm just having a quick look around to show if there's any other issues I can see. The only other thing I would suggest is when you install batteries as well, is to make sure it's all the way. So you've got about 30 mil or so space over this side, and at this side it's pressing against the radiator hose A, which is hot, transfers heat to the battery, and also will put pressure on. Remember, it's a plastic radiator tank at the side here that's pushing against the radiator hose, so that's something else that needs to be sorted out. I didn't mention in the other video because it was going to be a general video, but then I was picking on all the electrical. So that's the electrical pick on, so we don't need to look at that now. We're just looking for other stuff. We already looked over the side. Ripcode belt, I don't know why. Just get the genuine clips. I'm just reiterating, this vehicle is in such awesome condition, other than the key maintenance hasn't been done. It's like, this is like a 50-year-old male, okay, that eats McDonald's on Monday, Hungry Jack's on Tuesday, fish and chips on Wednesday, pizza on Thursday, and whatever you like the rest of the week, right? But it's got, it's been waxed, it's been in the solarium, mate, it gets the sun, it goes to the gym, so it's all, look, I don't know how to explain it. That's a terrible explanation, isn't it? Anyway, you get what I mean? Like, you put the bling on, you put the ARB bull bar on the winch, but you've got to do the maintenance, and the maintenance isn't just changing oil and changing the fuel filter and changing the air filter or cleaning the K&N filter, K&N. It's understanding the beast and making sure those, the injector should have been changed. But look, the point is, it's in really good condition. Look, the headlights are faded, okay, so they need a good polish up, but the paintwork of the vehicle and the interior, it's great, it's the sort of vehicle you'd want to own. So it is a pity, and it's definitely, I suppose, the positive of it all is it's worth spending the money on because it is in such good condition. I'm looking for problems, and other than that big electrical mess, and that's what it is, I'm not seeing anything really. I'm going, this is good, hang on. So yeah, it's not going to have any cracked guards because there's no battery there. There's no leaks at the valve cover, no oil leaks. Can't see any oil leaks, anything at the turbo. Hasn't had a lot of Ks that you're going to have any issues with anything really. It's coming up to where you've got to do those things like replace the wheel bearings. The BFE, that can be done at 300, so that can wait. Control on bushes, they'll probably be okay for a bit longer. It's a 250, 300k thing, so it's coming up. Power steering oil. Now this is the problem, you don't see it in these, you got to pull that out. Yeah, not bad, it's still at a reasonable, I haven't done a really accurate check, but it's got oil in there, so that's good. So that's filthy things, they always do that. What else? It's other than this electrical catastrophe, which we weren't going to go into anymore in this video. It looked good, guys. I can't see anything. Can you see anything? In the comments, it's got the short suction control valve still. So anybody that's watching that's not sure about the suction control valve situation, check our playlist called Suction Control Valve. It tells you all about suction control valves. That's the little sucker that's down there, right? I'm pointing at it. It's directly below, right there. Okay. It's short. It's about 20 mil or about an inch, whatever. The replacement or the right one. This is a long one you want to get, brand new, genuine. That's what we supply. We don't supply this Chinese, same old thing. There's different part numbers. They're switching boxes. They're doing all sorts of things, right? How many circuit breakers have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, we're not doing electrical. Battery security. Yeah, that's all right. So look, ARB Keilor, you might want to just let the boys know they need to set these things up so that they're not rubbing on the engine. I suggest split corrugated tubing over these, anywhere they might rub, in case you set up So it's a plan B, right? So plan A is you route the wire so that they're not going to rub. So they've got, look, like as long as there's minimum, our vehicle, it's only got about 10-15 clearance. But worst case scenario, well, something can't move. But if it does, say if zip ties breaks and it moves and whatever, then you've got your split tubing, it's just going to rub there, you know? It's not going to, you know, this stuff, it's tough, you know, this is tough stuff. It doesn't rub through in a hurry. So, and then you can see it and sort it out or whatever. Anyway, guys, that's it. I wanted to show you the fuel filter rubbing through. We've checked everything under the engine bay. Can't find anything else other than this electrical catastrophe. Wires tight as anything. I mean, they're just so, I don't know what, it's just terrible. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Please give us a thumbs up if that might save you or something similar. And yeah, subscribe, turn the bell on. We've got more information on this vehicle coming. That's what we've got for now. Thanks for watching. See ya.